We always want to honor time, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody, and then we'll unmute you as you have questions and that kind of thing. So tonight we're going to be talking about, of course, mastering business development. We recently started this webinar series, and just someone raise your hand to make sure. I just want to make sure I can be heard okay. Okay, good. All right, so this weekly webinar is just a 30-minute free webinar open to the public. It's part of the information that we teach internally to our BizDev pros. If you don't know what that is, you can learn more about that from the person that invited you onto the webinar. But each week we are covering some tips. This week we're in a series called the 5 Circles of Influence. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And I'm just going to get into it because we cram a lot of information into a short period of time, because our real desire here is that you take what you learn from this and just go apply it in the marketplace tomorrow. And we've seen amazing results. One of our brand new BizDev pros, I don't know if she's on tonight. She might be. Let's see. Yeah, I bet she is. Michelle, are you on? Okay, one of our brand new BizDev pros started our program 4 weeks ago, and she's booked in under 4 weeks. She was struggling to make appointments, and in under 4 weeks, she's booked 26 appointments. And so that's pretty significant. And it's not just booking the appointments, but booking them in a way that leads to the highest and best outcome, and getting you warmly received in the marketplace. So let's just kind of dive in here. First of all, I said this to Tom. Tom and I actually got to spend some time together last night, which was really cool. But one of the things you're going to hear from me over and over and over is, if you want to be successful, mastering business development is not optional. You either become an expert or you hire an expert, but there isn't such a thing as business growth without understanding how to do business development. So the mastery of it is extremely important, and that's what these webinars are all about. So we've been working on the process of building Thriving Tribe, which is an evolved version of network. Imagine your network and all of your contacts, and they become extremely collaborative, conscious, and responsible, meaning they're winning, you're winning, and the whole tribe is winning. That's really the big difference between network and Thriving Tribe. There's a lot more to it, but that's just kind of a basic overview of what Thriving Tribe would be. We covered in the last couple of weeks, we covered pinging the marketplace and making contact. We've covered bringing people into your database, and when you do that, to start the process of systematic nurturing, which is going to lead to connection. Now, connection is extremely important, especially in a noisy world. And we have to recognize that the key to overcoming this noise in the marketplace is going to be social influence, okay? Or influence. Call it what you call it, social influence or influence, either way, same thing really. But the key to overcoming noise, this is an important point. The key to overcoming the noise is social influence, okay? And social influence comes from connecting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk for a few minutes about creating connection, and then have Tom throw some thoughts in there as well. But one of the first things we need to realize about connection is it's all about the other person. Now, reciprocation is about both of you, but connection is all about the other person. If you want to connect with somebody, it must be a gift without expectation of them. Now, a lot of people get confused in this. They think that you should give without expectation. Yeah, you give without expectation of the person. That doesn't mean you don't have an expectation of the law of giving, or the law of reciprocity, or the law of cause and effect. I would hope you would have an expectation of that, or a dependability on it, or some type of awareness of it. It's extremely important that you do. Just don't inappropriately place it on the other person. The art of connecting is about making it all about the other person. Now, if they make it about you, they're doing a great job of building connection with you. In fact, if you want to win my heart in the marketplace, and I'll give you some real live examples. If you want to win my heart in the marketplace, the way to do it isn't to come to me and say, hey, Brett, I'm a real estate agent and I'd love to have your referrals. My first thought is there are 45,000 real estate agents here in the Arizona area, in the greater Phoenix area. Why would I give my referrals to you? But if you came to me differently and you said, Brett, I noticed that you're passionate about building thriving tribes and helping people master business development. How could I support that? Now, if you're a real estate agent, is there a better chance of me wanting to send you referrals with that statement than the previous one? Of course, right? It's all about the other person. If I want to connect with you, I got to make it about you. If you want to connect with me, you got to make it about me. And let me caution you on what a lot of people think this means, but it isn't. Making it about the other person doesn't mean when they buy your products and services. Making it about the other person doesn't mean when they do what you want them to do. Making it about the other person means you drop your expectations of them, you find out what's important to them. It doesn't matter what it is. My grandmother needs her house painted. Hey, if I want to build connection, how far will you go? If I have people tell me all the time that they love to serve people, they love to give, they love building community, they care about community, they care about sustainability, and they have all these ideals and lofty thoughts. And I like to put it to the test and say, great, I just met someone that has this need over here. Their son is struggling a bit and could use some friendship or mentorship, or the 85-year-old grandmother that needs the house painted and doesn't have the money and obviously can't do it herself. Sometimes in your network you have resources and you have people that want to help and give, and you can coordinate giving inside of your tribe. And it has nothing to do with you getting something in return from them, except you will effectively build connection. Now, you've got to be a good steward of your time, money, and energy, okay? So sometimes you really can't just deplete yourself with giving and not replenish that somehow, but that's what we leave to the process and to the natural laws. So connecting is all about the other person, and then let me see, I covered my word. Okay, there we go. And then what is the process of connecting? So I'm going to give you two memes here that will help kind of ingrain this into your thought process as like an overall operating system. The first one is called the 4 C's, okay? And the 4 C's in order are care, connect, then collaborate, and create something, okay? Care, connect, collaborate, and create. You have to care, okay? When you're talking to someone through messaging, you've pinged the marketplace, and they jump on and they go right into sales predator mode. That's not the time to stop caring. Sometimes people just need a little bit of jolt outside of their hypnotic rhythm of predatory sales or hypnotic rhythm of being all about themselves. But if you care, you don't just quickly blow that off. I've seen so many people that were off track, but with a little reminder, got back on track. Now I'm not going to invest a lot of time, money, and energy to get someone on track. But if I can just jolt them in a few words or in a sentence and get them to go, oh yeah, you're right, it really is about me, you, and the tribe, then that person might have a chance of doing something. So I never want to omit the first step. I want to care first. The second step is to build connection. And that's what we're talking about on the webinar tonight, is that you want to systematically start nurturing people to build real connection. And connection is influence, and I'm going to explain influence here as I wrap up. And then it will lead to collaboration and creation of something bigger and better. Now, Tom is going to talk about this here in a minute, but the key here in this process, as you're caring and you're connecting, and it's interesting. We don't have time to go into it tonight. But if you look at the 4 stages of life and business that people go through, they go through survival, stability, the rewards of success, and significance. And most people want the rewards of success and significance. They certainly want stability as well. Very few people consciously want survival. Oftentimes, though, subconsciously do, so they keep repeating it. However, most people are looking to move through these 4 phases: survival, stability, the rewards of success, and significance. What I have found is the 4 G's correlate with each of those phases. The key to getting out of survival is to give first. Now, it seems like counterintuitive. Like the last thing you want to do when you're in survival is give to somebody else. But the actual key to getting out of survival is to give first. You must give value in order to have people connect. And if they connect, then you're going to earn influence. And if you earn influence, it's actually a capital that you can spend in the marketplace. So you give first. The key to stability is keep giving. Don't stop the gift. Do it systematically and do it regularly, continuously. So give consistently. And then as you bring people closer to your inner circle, make the gift a little bit bigger, right? I was able to enjoy some time and just mastermind and closeness with Tom last night as they were passing through. And you know, I know that at this phase in the game, we're both focused on giving to each other big, but we're also on the inner circle, right? And then as you get and you achieve, you give back. And that's the gift of mentorship, the gift of insight, the gift of money, whatever it is, you give back. But the process to create it is give first, give consistently, and give big, okay? Now, what is social influence? If you're taking notes, I would write this down, because this should be what you want to create when you're connecting, okay? And you want to do it the right ways. You don't want to manipulate this. You don't want to create image and forego essence. I'm going to say that again. The name of the game today is not about creating image and foregoing essence. When all the video and all the content and all of the best marketing is created, then what? What will be left? What will you turn to? And what will people turn to when everyone has great videos? Everyone has great content. Everyone has great marketing funnels. You got to understand, millions of people are all doing this all in one platform called the web. And there are millions and millions of people with perfected messages and great images. They're putting off a great image, but the public is becoming extremely wise as to what they really desire, which is essence. And that goes back to caring. If you care about your customer will care about you. If you care about your friendships will care about you. If you care about your collaboration partnerships, they will care about you. So social influence. People listen to what you say. I would write this down. It's extremely important. They act on what you say. They tell others what you say and get others to act on what you say. The first half of social influence is addition. You add people one at a time. You might speak on stage and you might add them still one at a time, but you're in a crowd, okay? And that's the people listen to what you say, they act on what you say. That's addition. If you want to exponentially grow your life and business, you need to get in the game of multiplication. Multiplication or duplication is when when people are speaking on your behalf, they're telling others what you say, and they're getting others to act on what you say. And so with that, what I'd like to do is just kind of stop and pause for a moment and have Tom Gay, the CEO of Refer.com. Tom is the master at everything I just spoke about. And just have Tom, if you're still in a place where you can add some insights, if you can go ahead and comment on that, that'd be great. I think I need to unmute you too, so I apologize here. Where are we? There we go. Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, fantastic. First of all, Brett, I want to thank you for last evening. It was a wonderful evening, and it seems like every time we get together, we get more excited about what we're doing together. So that's a real connection.
Absolutely.
I want to speak to connection on two fronts. First of all, it's the one of them is baked into the essence of tribe. Okay, this is very important. If I'm building a tribe, the best thing I can do in terms of connecting people or attracting people who might become part of my tribe is to give to them something that, how shall I say, connects them to someone else who could be important to them. That's probably the best way to say it. So in many places, we call that an introduction or a referral. But that's not the only way you can do it. If I were to be building a relationship with Brett and I were to give him a testimonial so that my words can be magnified or multiplied into his audience, that is a gift to Brett that will strengthen our connection and live long after the event actually occurred, because he can use it again and again in different ways. So as you look at building your circle of connections and ultimately to tribe members, you have something you can give them by introducing people to each other, by providing testimonials and referrals and advice to each other to help that circle of connections prosper amongst themselves. That's building the whole up, and as the whole gets larger because of the value that you're providing, your influence and your importance to that group, that tribe, goes up and increases. And you're looked at the person who is, you've heard this before, they're a real connector. Well, that's what you want. Okay, now that's the first part. The second part I want to speak to is the construct that says when you're looking to create a connection, the start of a connection, you've heard it said that you need to be a giver. Well, the question always comes up, what does that mean? What does that take? Well, basically what it takes is finding out something about the person you're trying to build that bridge to that's important to them. Meaning something that they value, that they're involved in, that they're active in, that they like, they love, their experience is connected to. So the more you take an interest in what they are and they're doing, then the more it's not about you, but it's about them. And immediately when you become other-centered or other-centric, what happens is your level of trust increases in the eyes of the person to whom you're giving it to. So here I am today driving from Globe, Arizona. If anyone's ever been there, you can miss it pretty quickly. Through the cotton fields of Globe, Arizona, heading for the New Mexico border, and I get a call from a client in Orange County, California. And he says to me, Tom, this was amazing. He said, I selected more people I wanted to connect with than you told me, and more than I could imagine. I started to reach out, and I realized, man, this is taking more time than I really thought it would. He had like 100 people he's trying to bridge with, okay, build that bridge with. But he said, you know, after I got going, I realized how big an impact I was having in their lives, and that I was having fun doing it, because every person I was attempting to connect with and provide something to that would be the bridge building element to trust, every person was coming back to me with some sign of appreciation that was the starting place for a real meaningful connection. And as we got to talking, I remember we started working together about 6 weeks ago. And Will said to me, my goal before the end of the year is to get 2 new clients. Now, he has a pretty high average client transaction value. And he said, Tom, I've already got 1, and we're a month into it. And I've got 2 more who have come to me, and 2 more that I don't know how I'm going to handle, because one's in Dayton, Ohio, and one's in Staten Island. True story. And he works out of Southern California. So now but he says it's all come because I've reached out in a consistent manner. I've done it regularly now. As we teach people, we equip people, do it once every 2 weeks to a small group of people, bridge that relationship every 2 weeks with something about them, connect to them, and you can use different means, whether you're talking about a phone call or an email or whatever. You can use different means, but when you do it, all of a sudden, you've separated yourself from the noisy throng that are out there around you. Brett spoke about the noise and about the fact that everybody's got the ability to reach out and throw a message into the marketplace. That's true. It's not going to get any better. So the question is, how do you make yourself different? And the only way you can make yourself different is back to what always works, and that's the one-to-one relationship. Not everyone is going to result in something that comes back to you. That's okay. Don't set your expectations there. Your goals could be there, but your expectations need to be there. You're going to bridge that relationship, something important to that person today, and then again tomorrow. And watch, you're going to see the returns come. You may not know where it may be that you get connected to one of their tribe or one of their connections, and all of a sudden you see the compounding value build for you. So it takes a commitment to make the effort. As we like to say, 10 to 15 minutes a day, and you've got it. You're on. You'll be there very quickly, and it won't take you long to do that too. We've already got people on this call who have been doing it, and Brett's testified as to their results. I don't think you need any more proof points than that to validate that it works. So, Brett, those are my words for tonight. I hope people can take value from them.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tom. You truly are. Our relationship that's been going on for, I don't know, 5-6 years, however long it's been, you've done exactly what you've taught, what you've built into refer.com with me. And I still feel every single time that I get a touch from you every 2 weeks, I still feel like it's so natural and so, genuine. And it's really kept us going to the point where we do great big things together in the world. And it's really exciting. Let me give you guys a couple points that are extremely important that you really want to think about coming into this week, and as you continue to grow your life and business. Oftentimes people come to me and say, man, Brett, I hear what you're saying. I understand you and Tom. I understand the accurate thought, activity, and habit, but you just don't understand. I'm busy. And I think to myself, yeah, you're right. I've never understood busy. I started working in high school. I had 3 jobs while I went to school. In fact, I went to work more than I went to school. But I never stopped. I've been working from morning till night up until the last 6 years, where I finally realized that being busy wasn't the goal. And Chuck Blakeman said it best. I was with him live. He was talking about his book called Making Money is Killing Your Business. Tom, are you familiar with that book?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So I was with Chuck actually at a Keller Williams, and Chuck said that his mom taught him something, and I'll never forget this. His mom used to say to him, Chuck, there are no excuses in life. She said, in fact, there aren't even reasons. There are only priorities. And go ahead and just write that one down and just think about it, meditate on it, do what you got to do with it. It's okay to be busy. It's okay to not have time to do these activities, as long as you consciously are choosing to get the results of not doing them. There's no judgment in it other than your own. Your judgment, and I write this in the book, Thriving Tribe versus Network, but the only justified judgment is the one effect hands you at the end of the day. Do you understand that? The only justified judgment is the one that effect hands you at the end of the day. No one else can judge whether you should do them or don't do them, because we don't know the outcome you want to create. However, you can't have conflicting truths. You can't say to yourself, I want to accomplish X, but I want to do it continuing to hold on to the reasons why I'm not going to put in the activity. Okay? So something has to give, right? A couple other things. In the process of connection, people will say, well, I don't, this process seems really long. Actually, how does never sound, right? You won't find anyone that will achieve anything of real significance that does not invest in people in this way. Do you think Richard Branson is a little bit busy? He owns 400 companies. Now, do you have any doubt in your mind that he invests in people? How about Warren Buffett, Bill Gates? I mean, I don't know what your version of success is. I'm not saying that they're the definition of success, but I picked them because they're busy. They have all the reason in the world to not do the activity and habit, but yet they have amazing connection with people. Amazing connection. At the end of the day, it comes down to priorities. You prioritize thought, activity, and habit. Now you can prioritize it any way you want. You can prioritize it to deliver less than desirable results. You can prioritize it to deliver mediocre results. And you can prioritize it to deliver extraordinary results. The choice is yours. It's not for mine or Tom or anyone else to judge. All we want to do is just make you aware that when you approach these different principles and you prioritize them, they will deliver to you an end effect that is proportionate to exactly what you put into them, okay? Connection. Sometimes people say, well, Brett, you don't understand. I've been giving, but I'm not getting anything back. I give referrals, I give this, I'm doing. I'm not getting anything back. Two things that I want to say about that. Number one, you can't plant a beet and wrap an onion skin around it and put it in the dirt and think you're going to harvest an onion. No matter what it looks like, a beet is going to come back up out of the ground. If you go, well, I'm going to give this, but if they don't reciprocate something, then I'm out. Or I'm going to give this, but if I'm only going to do it, it has limitations, it has expectations. It's a beet. You're planting a beet. Just expect to get a beet back. What you're going to get you're a pebble in the pond. You go into the pond, you make an impact, and the ripple goes out, and the ripple comes back. It's really that simple. Whatever you're putting into the marketplace, it's coming back. Okay. If you're not getting back, it's because you're maybe approaching the marketplace under the guise of giving. Maybe you're approaching it under the guise of being genuine or authentic. And I don't question or doubt any of you on this call, but this is some of the troubleshooting that I've seen in this before. But the very nature of someone bringing up and saying, you don't understand, I give all the time and I get nothing back, right there, that tells me that there's probably a beet that's going into the ground and not an onion. If you plant beets, you're going to get beets. If you plant onions, you'll get onions. Genuinely give first, give consistently, and give big. Don't do it in proportion to where they are in the circles. If they're a contact, don't park a Lexus in their driveway, right? If they're a contact, they get a touch every 2 weeks. They might get a handwritten card. They're in that database phase. But if they're a connection, maybe you invite them out. You got tickets to the Diamondbacks. You got 4 tickets. And you invite some of your connections out and you start building relationship. right? And in your inner circle, you roll out the red carpet and you make sure that anytime they come into town, they never buy anything. You take care of them, you're driving them around, whatever your rules are for your inner circle. Except I let Tom buy me dinner last night, so I broke the rules. So my fault. But you give in proportion to where they are in the circle. That's just being a good steward of your resource. And what are the 3 resources you have to give? Time, money, and energy. You've got to be a good steward, but don't be a stingy one. Be a good steward of your time, money, and energy, and place it appropriately and place it accurately. And then remember Thriving Tribe DNA number 1, awareness. Be aware of the present moment. If you're doing something and you're getting an effect, you don't need a book, you don't need me, you don't need Tom, you don't need a webinar or a seminar, you don't need a blue pill. All you got to do is observe the effect and go, this is not working properly. Okay? And you adjust. I'll tell you, if there's one thing that I'm extremely proud of in myself, and I'm not trying to brag here, is that I witness my behavior in real time every day and go, it's time for me to create positive change. This is not working. What I am doing is not working. And I'll tell you what, in today's world, in the marketplace, as we talk about it, man, if there was ever a time to be aware of the present moment, it is now, because the market, not only are you changing in all the variables inside of you, but all the variables inside of the marketplace are changing. We don't want to teach fixed thinking in the BizDev Pro. We want to teach growth thinking that says, become aware. If something isn't working, adjust. Go back to your list of priorities and make a new decision on what might be more important than what you have been doing. So, guys, I think we're right at the top of the hour. And so we didn't get time for questions. But what I would love to invite you to do is go to the BizDev Pro Facebook page. And if you have any questions, of course, if you're a BDP, you can post it in the BDP Mastermind for those of you that are enrolled, and we're talking there all the time. Okay, Tom, I gotcha. But for the rest of you, one day at a time. Oh, great comments there. For the rest of you, you can go to the BizDev Pro Facebook page and leave a question there, and we'll jump in and engage it. And leave your stories, leave your thoughts, leave your ideas. We want to have conversation with you there, and definitely be able to continue to get more and more accurate as we move along. So, Tom, it looks like you had something to add there, and I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, just one wrap-up comment. We all know that in building a relationship, you don't take inventory of each other and who gave what and who's ahead or behind. Whether you're talking about someone at home or whether you're talking about out in the marketplace, I want to say that the same thing applies with connections. You don't take inventory. Now, it says give and give and give, and the results will begin to accrue back to you. The point I want to make in that statement is, what you're going to find is if you take on that approach, if you actually are sincere about it, your time will begin to produce connections that are close, that are mutual, that are beneficial, and you'll find that you will become surrounded by people who are like-minded with you. And as a result of that, the tribe will burst into action for everyone's benefit.
I'm so glad you brought that up. That was going to be the second point. I missed it, is that the second thing is create the culture in the tribe, right? As you're giving and you model leading yourself well in that area, people in the tribe will start doing it as well, and reciprocation starts to happen at an exponential factor. So, so great comments, Tom. Thank you so much. I'm glad you were able to jump on, and all of you, just great to have you. And we grew this week, and next week we're getting into the relationship and inner circle stuff. It's going to be exciting, so join us next week, same time. This recording will be available for you BDPs in the mastermind. It'll also be available for all our guests on the BizDev Pro Facebook page. Until next week, thanks everybody. And it was great to see you.
Take care. Alrighty. Be well.
You bet, Michael.
Okay. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you,
Loving and
guys.
informative as always. Powerful stuff.
Hey, Michelle, thanks for the comment. And Derek, I love that. Great comments. Earl Nightingale. Jeff, yeah, you're right, Jeff. It's very fun to do. It's a lifestyle, right? It's not a drudgery. It's a lifestyle, man. It feels good. It's fun, and you get great results. All right, appreciate all of you. Hey, Michelle, you're awesome.